Good evening, Dennis. Hi, my name is Nicolette. I am the creator for podcast titled You're Worthless. Read that again. Juxtaposition of your very soul. First off, thank you so much for saying yes. This is such a short notice, but I think I am actually, when I read your profile, I liked it because it is something different to what I've interviewed before. Never.
Okay.
And yeah. You're somebody from a different industry, and I like to listen and learn about what other people can share their life stories with me.
I wouldn't say it's an unusual industry, but yeah, it's a particular industry.
No, yeah, it's a particular industry, and because I come from Malaysia, so it's not really. I wouldn't say I love it. Sorry, I said I love it, and that's why I wanted to be.
Hey, look, I want to have
wanted
you on
to.
my show because I hate your industry and I want to tear down everything you do. That sounds like I walked into the wrong kind of situation.
No. Okay, so I'm gonna do a bit of introduction about you into our for our listeners, for my listeners and your listeners. Okay, so hi everybody, we have Dead Air. Dennis Maler is a Boston-based comedian, actor, writer, and podcaster who has been heard on SiriusXM and radio stations across the country. He has been featured on festivals nationwide, is the comedy editor for DigBoston, and hosts the podcast So, What Do You Really Do? Well, generally he's funny, loud, abrasively social, and allergy-free since 19 let me see. 19 it's like 1908. What's that? What's the
1981. That was the year I was
nine
born.
right, 1981. So
That's the first
Dennis,
joke. That's the first joke is that, oh, I've been allergy free since 81. Well, how did you get allergy free? I was just born that way.
right. So Dennis, I'm just gonna go with the flow because when I saw there are no questions about you. So it's just gonna be a very fluid conversation.
Please, yes. Ask
Yeah.
away. Let's conversate.
Let's go. Okay, so Dennis, tell us what was it like growing up as Dennis Maller?
Well, growing up was difficult because I grew up in a lower middle class financial family, and I also grew up shorter than most of my schoolmates. So I went to a private Catholic school. Also,
Right.
one of the big problems was I was in a Catholic school, but I was mercifully, uh, without mercy, picked on by the other kids because I had glasses, I was short, I was loud and goofy, and I had watched Monty Python long before anyone else in my school ever had seen it. So quoting different things from a movie that nobody understands made me quite the pariah. Now, of course, you say Mighty Python. I was like, oh, aren't we all great and we love Mighty Python together? But no, you didn't. Not in 1989.
Wait, I'm so inclined to ask, like, is it okay for me to ask, like, how tall are you? Or
Oh, I'm
that's
five foot
like,
six. No, it's fine. It's in my Tinder bio. I don't care. I'm 5'6", which is below regular human in American average height. American
really,
average height is
really,
five
like,
foot
okay,
nine, apparently.
really?
Yeah,
Okay, so,
average male height in the United States is generally seen as 5'9", but apparently
sorry.
5'9" is too short for all the women on Tinder too. So who knows?
Hang on. So 5'6". What's that in centimeters or
I have
meters?
no idea. I'm let's figure it out.
Because,
Let's do a
because
quick.
okay, sure. Because I'm 5'5", so we're just slightly we're yeah about the same height then.
Two in centimeters. Oh wait, that says inches. Let's do. I have to convert now 5'6" to inches, which is 5 times 12 is 60 plus 6, so it's 66 inches.
Ma-
I'm good at
ma-
math. I am
oh, okay.
167 and a half centimeters tall.
Right. So okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. Has your height ever gotten you to? I mean, besides being picked on, has it ever gotten you to any trouble, especially with I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
because when people think that you're an easy target, you're like, oh, he's short, we could beat him up. Like, no, you're not. I'm from Baltimore. I've lived a rough life. I already know how to throw hands. I don't want to throw hands anymore. I stopped throwing hands years ago, decades ago, because fighting's dumb and stupid. But some people see you,
Exactly.
and if they're taller than you, they want to pick on you. If you're having if you're not if you're too confident, people want to fight you. So like it's all kind of
Yeah.
around the same things.
Okay, Dennis, I'm just gonna pivot a little bit here. Like,
Hmm.
since you said picking on, right? Like, is bullying a very big thing in the U.S.?
Yes, no, it's where we invented it. I think that's where.
Oh my God, yeah, you people
Ah, we
started
love
it.
it here.
Like,
No, it's
oh my goodness.
we champion people who are
Yeah,
expert
you.
bullies. Look at Judge
Why?
Judy is a bully. You know, half the people on American TV are bullies. Our former president was a bully, is a bully still. Yeah, no, we love
Oh my
bullies here
God.
in America, unfortunately, which is disgusting and sad. But that's just the way it seems to be. You know, we keep saying that we want to stop bullying. We want all the kids to
Yeah,
not to be bullied, but at the same time,
you're
kids are
creating
kind of
them.
being bullied.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I've never been to America. I would love to go there one day.
Don't worry,
But
I've never
it's
been to Malaysia. What we'll do is we'll flip flop. We'll do a
yeah.
exchange student program. You'll come
Ex-
here, live in
no,
my
no, no,
dank,
no,
dirty,
Dennis.
scary,
We'll
dirty
do an
American
exchange.
apartment, and I'll come to Malaysia and live in your nice, cute little, fluffy, everything looks very soft and comfy apartment in Malaysia.
Oh no, we'll do a podcast exchange program.
Yes.
How's that?
Send one. Yeah, for 13 cents a day, you can feed a poor, starving podcast artist in a country of your choosing. You know what? We'll just start a program, a kick fund me, kick fund me. Yeah, we'll start a
You
kick fund me where we can just start shipping podcasters
no.
out of the country so we can have them
Wait, hang
listen to
on,
less
Dennis.
white men
I
with
am so known.
microphones.
No, I am so known to just do something impulsively. So I might just ponder about that, and I probably just come up to you. I don't know, maybe a few months down the road and say, you know what, Dennis, what can we make that happen?
Yeah,
Because
don't use
I
my name when you're
actually
trying to come to the country though. They'll just ship you back. They're like, you're here to see who? Nah.
no,
No, shut customs down. Don't let her through. She's got to go see Dennis.
no, but serious, I don't think no, nobody has ever done that podcast
I don't know of
exchange
any
program. It's like
podcast exchange
no,
programs. No, I don't know.
I mean Podmatch is here. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Podmatch should think about it. And I know you thought about it first. Oh my God, Dennis. So are you gonna be mad if you don't want to do it and I do it and take it to other people?
I mean, I'll go to Malaysia. I don't care if somebody's going to pay for it. I'll go anywhere if they're going to pay for it. Why not? It sounds like fun. I
Okay,
got
okay.
with Zoom recorder will travel.
Okay, all right, cool. So, all right, Dennis, back on the serious note for a bit. What is it about being an artist that everybody don't know and but should know about?
Support your friends who are becoming artists. That's what people don't know.
Mm.
Every single person who's ever made a successful run in whatever entertainment industry you want to call it started with the support of their friends. Especially now when we're talking about in the day age of social media, we like to not believe that any of this social media stuff matters, but it does matter. But also it doesn't matter, but it does matter, but it doesn't. It's a vicious Ouroboros. But yeah, so the support of your friends is where everything starts. The moral support, the physical support, going to their shows, and
Right.
going to their art galleries, and the support online. It takes no effort to click like on a post, but that like on the post tells the almighty algorithm, but tells them that this is worthy enough to share with other people. And every person who clicks like, comments, even shares a post tells Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Threads, tells all of those algorithms that this is worthy to be shared with more people. The more people that their art is shared with, the more likely it is for them to work towards that, whatever their goal is of being successful. It's unfortunate that popularity is important when it comes to entertainment, whether you're an actor, a
Yeah.
musician, a painter, comedian, whatever you are, it starts with the support of your friends and family first. So this message is not for the artists. It's for the friends and family and the potential supporters of artists. Please support them any way you can.
Right. So, this is what basically we as an artist. I don't know. Should I call myself an artist? Creator, probably
Creator,
creator.
sure. That's another word that we used this day. Content creators.
Buzzword, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So when did you know you wanted to become a comedian?
Because I grew up right at the end of the 1970s comedy boom here in America, where stand-up comedy was everywhere, all on TV, everywhere. And I just knew somehow that I wanted to do that. I just the keystone moment was I got fired from no, I was working at a radio station because I'm also
Right.
an audio professional, radio
Wait, hang on.
personality, and yeah.
Really? Are you a sound engineer or what's that? Like,
Yes.
what
Well,
did
it
you
was.
study?
I've left that industry behind me now. I've moved on away from being a sound engineer and live sound, even though I just got roped in to do sound for a show just the other day because nobody else knew how to turn on the sound system. And I just walked in and was like, all right, I'll do it.
This
It's
is
like the
easy,
Godfather.
yeah.
Like every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. But
Like, yeah.
so
Like
yeah,
the
the
walking
pivotal
Jedi.
moment. Yeah, the keystone. Yeah, I'm an audio sound Jedi. Like you throw me in a sound booth with equipment, I'm gonna figure out how to turn it all on.
I
and
need
work it.
you. Yeah, it's like, so okay. I'm gonna ask a dumb question. Is it like when you're in a recording studio?
There's
you
no
have
such
all
thing
of-
as dumb questions. There's just dumb
Thank
people.
you. Like, it's like, is it like those panel, like the big ass panel, and then this where
This
you-
stuff.
yeah, the switches and the I don't know, equalizers. Is that what you do? What do you
all
normally
that
do?
stuff,
Like,
yeah. Well, I do either I do anything related to sound, whether it's sound at a live club, for a band, for a comedian, for talks, for presentations. I do podcast recordings. I do offsite recording. I used to do offsite radio, remote broadcast. So when a radio station wanted to do their radio show from outside of their own studios, I would go set up all the equipment and send the signal back to the studios. I used to also work in the studios. So basically anything involved in with sound, and I did sound for movie and films and stuff like that, you know, holding the big old boom microphone over your head with the shotgun mic and all that stuff.
wow.
I've done all of it. If it makes a sound, I've somehow manipulated it.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi
Okay.
there. You're still there.
Yeah. Okay, I'm still here. Right. Like, how would you direct like one film?
I have done some directing. I am not what you would call a director or an expert in that field, but there's many different ways that film directors direct films. Some
Right.
feel that they are the conductor, and what they're doing is they're bringing together all these different departments, whether it's actors, sound people, costumers. They bring them all together and they help keep that entire project on task, on track, and organizes everything that's needed to make a film. Some people see themselves more as they're the one who's going to help coax a performance out of an actor or director. And some people are just, I'm a creator, and to create, I have to be a part of this entire system. So there's a lot of different ways and methodologies to go into directing. Especially, there's a huge difference between movie and TV directing. TV directing is kind of more like doing the busy work, trying to keep everybody on task and asking the questions that need to be, or answering the questions that need to be asked to get the production done. Movie tends to be a little more esoteric. It seems to be a little more
I love that word.
artsy.
So, okay, typically,
So-
how would for example, I'm just being very random right now. How long would a Transformer movie take to make? Like,
How long does it take
would
to make a movie?
Yeah, how long would a Transformer movie take to make? Yeah.
Oh, a movie. Just if we're talking about the Transformers movies itself.
Yes, yes.
I mean, pre-production. You're talking about probably for most like blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
Pre-production can be anywhere from a year to 10 years, depending on how long it takes to get a script put together and stuff. But since it's we're using the known franchise that is Transformers, from the agreements of here, we're going to make another Transformers movie to seeing it in theater, you're probably talking two and a half, 3 years. Could be longer, could be shorter, but probably not much shorter than to make 2 years. Sounds about normal time for a major franchise blockbuster.
Right. Wow. That's a long time. Okay, so do you know
Some
anything
movies take a lot longer because somebody comes up with that idea, they write that script, and it just doesn't get made, and it takes years and years of pitching it to different people, and some people get involved and they change
But
ideas
would you
and they
say
keep going.
like
But
the likes of Michael Bay, it's not a problem for him to like like I see like produced by somebody, right? Like somebody's famous, and then does he or she need to go and pitch it to other people, or can I say, okay,
yeah,
let's say I
because
have the
somebody
money.
has to pay for it. Somebody has to pay for it. Nobody wants to pay for it out of their own pocket. So Michael Bay has an idea to make a new Transformers movie. He doesn't want to pay for it. So he goes to the studios, and that's what the studios do. The studios pay for
Like Universal
movies to be
Studios
made.
then.
Yeah, well, in Transformers' case, it would be Warner Brothers.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
Own the
In that
Warner
case,
Brothers
Warner
owns
Brothers, yeah.
the intellectual property that is the Transformers. If I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Right.
But whomever it is, doesn't matter. Somebody has an idea for a movie. Where does it come from? Does it come from a person? Does it come from a studio? Does it come from a brain trust?
Right.
So yeah, from idea to, I mean, if money's no expense, you can make a movie in a year and a half, but it's going to cost probably a lot more to make it in that turnaround time. Or what are you going to lose in that turnaround time? You might lose a lot more quality, especially when we're talking about in day and age today with visual effects. Visual effects take a long time. You're employing people to make these visual effects happen, and sometimes we're talking about the processing speed of computers and the speed of a computer. Even though they all have really good computers, there still takes time to make all that artistry, all those digital effects, all those graphics, and then render them all together into a film.
You said that you're a film director, or you were, maybe, I don't know if you're still one.
No, never really was a film director. No, I've done some directing stuff, but I would not consider I've done directing for television shows. I've directed small, short films,
could you share with us what are these short films and short?
Actually, one of the ones that's on, I mean, no, because they're no longer on the internet. People have pulled them off.
I mean,
I've directed
YouTube,
other
right?
things for other people. Yeah. Well, I mean, when I directed this stuff, a lot of the stuff I directed pre-YouTube, which goes back to that. And then the only one that would have been on YouTube, a comedy short that I produced, the guy took it off. I don't know why. A couple years ago, he did. But I would give you links. I mean, you can go to my website, deadairdennis.com, and click on videos, and you can see what videos are there that I've worked on.
I'm gonna ask your advice, because you're in this industry definitely a lot longer than I have been in, and what
my advice is always free.
Okay, but it's maybe we can put that in that exchange podcast.
That's why I'm a terrible businessman. That's why I got out of that business of making things and working behind the scenes, because I'm just bad at sending out invoices.
I can help you with that. What are your tips and I would say advice when it comes to people who wants to start something like wants to dip their toes in the media industry, but they just don't know where to go, where to start, and how would they start?
Yeah, a lot of that information is harder nowadays. It's not as hard today as it is years ago, but also at the same time, it's still hard.
Yeah, but it's harder.
Like when I started in the entertainment industry, the big thing was you had to move to New York or LA, Los Angeles in America, because that's where everything was being made. That's where the productions were happening. That's where the movers and the shakers are. And they still are there. You know, that's where the people who are going to finance making these things, that's where the people who are making this stuff are going to collaborate together. But now, with the internet, with the availability of technology, you can do it from anywhere. You know, you can make a short film, you can put it on the internet, and you can get, you know, millions of views for your short story, for your feature-length video, your feature-length movie. But how do you get from an idea of wanting to make it to premiering?
Executing.
Well, in this day and age, you know, that you have to, it's just like anything else. No one has ever had their very first thing become a success. There's tons of years behind things, you know, that you don't see of working and making. Stephen King did not just sit down and write a novel, award-winning novels, in his first time he sat down in front of a typewriter. He studied for decades on how to write stories, on how to create characters, on how to create things that are compelling. He wrote dozens and dozens and dozens of stories that were shit, that were garbage, that no one ever wanted to read. He had to do dozens of them before he ever wrote one that was like, oh, it's pretty good. You know, and I was still dozens of stories away from Pet Sematary or The Shining or Christine. Like hundreds of things had to be made by Stephen King and then thrown away before anyone could ever see his good work. So where do you learn? Do you go to school? Is there art schools? Is there film schools in your area? Do you have to travel to them? Can you learn all that stuff online? Yeah, you can. But most of these mediums are collaborative. So where are the collaborators? They're at school. They're out there working in the industry. So you have to find those places to collaborate, those things. You got to find a place to learn. You got to find a place to collaborate. Right. That's where it all starts. Starts with a dream. And then the next step is finding a place to collaborate.
Right. Finding the next place to go. What's that? What do you mean? Like, get somebody who's your fellow creator?
Well, if you want to make a movie, if you want to make a movie, you need actors, you need people to provide costumes, you need people to provide cameras, sound. I mean, you can provide all that stuff yourself. Well, you have to find those. You either find the objects or you find the people with the objects. You go to rental houses or you go to friends with that. Musicians, there. Same thing with a band. Unless you're going to be just one man with a guitar by himself playing, only a guitar. You know,
I mean,
or only with a piano. But if you're going to be a band, if you're going to have
it in a subway,
he did it. Yeah, he did it at Subway, but he had somebody to be around to record
vouch for him.
Somebody had to, you know, other instruments. He could play all. I don't know. Can he play all his own instruments? I mean, Stevie Wonder did, but Stevie Wonder can't play all the instruments at the same time when he's playing live. So if you have a multi-instrumental band, you have to find other musicians, and collaboration is still part of that. You know, you have a really good riff, but somebody's got to write lyrics. You know, you can do both.
That's true.
But some of the best work comes from collaboration. Look at the Beatles. The sums are not as good as the whole when it comes to that. Some people may say, you know, John's work by himself was cool. Paul McCartney's work by himself was cool. Ringo Starr's work was Ringo Starr's work. But when you bring them all together, you have the Beatles, who's people love to tout as being the best band ever. I don't get it, but okay. Yeah. I don't hate them, but I don't know. Best band ever. I don't know. Some of their songs just have two chords back and forth, and it's like, all right, cool. Hold your hand. All right,
you're
cool.
You're the sound engineer, so of course you can tell that. Okay. So now, with that being said, what do you think are the most important qualities while you work your way in this industry? Like how
you want to get into entertainment? What's the most important aspect? Qualities. So, it's the most important quality to have is self inspection. You have to
self introspection.
Introspective, yeah. You have to be realistic about who you are and what you do. You have to be.
But what about Dennis? What about I have a vision, like I have a dream. I know I want that.
You have to be self-aware. That's the important thing I'm trying to get. You have to be self-aware because sometimes you have to realize what you're doing is good, bad, or is good or bad. You have to realize if something that you're doing is helpful or hindering. You know, a lot of people in this industry just have the rose-colored glasses, and they're like, "I'm just because I'm in it. I'm it." No, you're not getting better as a performer. So what do you have to do to get better? And then too many people are also too
How do
many
you
people love to
self-assess?
think of themselves. Yeah, you have to learn you have to be able to self-assess. But you also can't be too hard on yourself either. Everyone likes to think that, oh, I'm a tortured artist and everything I make I have to think is garbage. Like, no, you can accept that things are good or bad. Like, it doesn't make you any better because you just think everything I make I have to constantly strive for perfection. No, things are done. You know, that's one of those, the other, and then that and the, I need my muse. Like, no, shit's made. Like, there's no divine inspiration for it, okay? You know what? Stop that with that.
Just
like, I'm waiting for God to strike me with a lightning bolt of ingenious. Yeah, no, there's... Stephen King doesn't sit around and wait for someone to tell, for some divine species to whisper in his ear, make a movie about a car possessed by a ghost. No, he's like, all right, what's the story that I want to tell? What's an interesting story? Like, these ideas have to be germinated from something. They're not just going to come to you. You know, there's musicians that have plenty of different methodologies of creating songs. You know, they just don't tell you about them. They're just because it's not interesting. All right, well, I take a song, I decide what key I want to play in, and then I find what chords go along with that in that key, and then all right, there we go. We come up with a strum pattern, and then there's the song. Like, honestly, there's literally musicians who will just roll dice, assign the dice to different aspects of music. Roll the dice, like, all right, cool. We got a 6, a 3, and a 2. That means we're going to do this in the
jazz.
Yeah, it's going to be a song in the key of C. It's going to have this rhythmic pattern, and because of that roll of the dice. There was a song made. Yeah, no, things are made by people. They're not brought to you by God.
But some people are talented. Like, I mean, I don't know, but for me, I think Charlie Puth is. Do you think he's talented?
Charlie who?
Charlie Puth.
I don't know who that is. Is he a musician?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
The song, wait. We don't talk anymore. It's Selena. Charlie Puth. You don't know?
Not off the top of my head. Can we play him? Yeah, let's play him.
Yeah,
no,
please.
It doesn't matter. It's fine. No, it's fine. I mean, everyone. I mean,
but
talent.
Selena Gomez.
People have talent. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I mean, that's where talent comes in. Talent is hard work and opportunity. Yeah, I mean, look, Ed Sheeran didn't pick up a guitar and was a virtuoso. He had to take lessons and learn how to play guitar.
Right.
You know, it's the same thing with everything else. A surgeon, no one's born a surgeon. They have to go to medical school and learn. They have to fail a lot. Talent is just hard work. Talent comes from hard work. No one is naturally gifted in the ability to make things You know, some people may be better at it than others. Like when I went to college for television production and radio production, when I learned how to be a person making TV and a person who made radio, when I learned how to do that, I took to it faster and easier than some of my classmates. Why? Because I had experience in that. I had experience in tech theater. You know, moving a camera is not that much different than moving a spotlight in a theater. You know, I already had experience with microphones and placing them in places and how to use them and stuff like that. So it wasn't that I was more gifted than my classmates. It's that I just had more experience. Trust me, some of my classmates have gone on to have much more successful careers in the radio industry than me. And I was better at it than them. I might still be better at it than them, but that doesn't mean that I'm guaranteed success.
Yeah, that's actually, I wanted to talk about that. That was my next question. Like, how do you define success in your life? Would you say you're successful
For me,
now?
it's being able to pay my bills and make make the stuff that I want to make and pay my bills. For me, that's it. I don't, we all want to say, oh, we don't want to be famous. Well, fame is a byproduct of success. So get over it. Get used to it. I mean, trust me, I don't, in no point in my life am I going to be walking into grocery stores and being mobbed by people. But hey, if I walk into a grocery store and someone goes, hey man, I saw your thing and I like it. Hey, that's great and wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you. I want to shake your hand. You know,
Can you take a
and if that
selfie?
never happens, but I still get to pay my bills, then all right, cool. I'm happy enough about that.
No, it's funny. Like now that I'm doing this podcasting as well, it's been like, I don't know, a few months, and I would just imagine myself like, oh, if I would ever go to the US, because most of my guest speakers are in the US and they're also fellow
Hmm.
podcasters. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
Ted Air. Oh, I remember I interviewed that guy. Probably I'm just gonna take selfie. There you go. And I send it to your Instagram. So
Yeah, oh
okay.
no, trust me, I live off spite and hate of the people I grew up with that said I would come nothing. Like, I'm waiting for my face to show up on their TVs and go, hi, hey, remember me? And I want them to
No,
regret, like, ever making fun of me. I mean,
exactly.
that's because I have a
Yeah.
damaged brain. That's because I have a dumb, broken
You know, when you
brain
said that,
from years
that
of
reminded me of Jessie
bullying.
J. Yeah, it's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, who's laughing now?
Yeah.
All right. So, you said here that you're a musician too. Do you play anything?
Did I say I was a musician? I play the ukulele, but I am not a musician. It's a pandemic hobby I
Okay.
picked up, but I don't write songs. I don't perform for people. I play my
Right.
ukulele. It's part of like fun and it's just a fun hobby for me. My
Right.
ukulele.
Okay. Ukulele. Tell us a bit about your podcast, my fellow podcaster.
The podcast I host is called So What Do You Really Do, where I interview artists and entertainers about their day jobs. We talk about the stuff that we have to do during the day to support what we want to do at night. Previous guests have
Ooh.
included amazing amount of American talents like comedian Jim Jeffries, Louis Black from The Daily Show,
Right.
and Steve-O from the Jackass, and many other people who are not famous but very interesting. We talk about the things that what we have to do to support our art, and I want to look for the people with the interesting jobs. I've been fortunate enough to have interesting jobs. When I started working in radio after high school, halfway through college, I got a job at a radio station, and I would watch people's eyes light up when I would like, oh yeah, I work in. When you talk to them, you meet them at the bar, like, so what do you do? I was like, oh, I'm an engineer. I work at a radio station. Their eyes light up. They're like,
Yeah, that's
you work at a radio
exactly
station?
how I felt. Yeah, like,
What do you?
oh my
Yeah,
God, I hear your voice. Is that you?
right.
When I drive.
Are you a DJ? And then sometimes I say yes, and sometimes I say no, and I watch their face drop and go, all right, well, never
Oh.
mind. If you're not going to be someone famous, or I tell them yes, I'm an on-air person, and then they all quite often look at me and go, yeah, well, I don't listen to the radio anymore. They'll go, why do you keep playing the same songs all the time, over and
Oh
over again?
God.
And my
You can
response
never
to that is
satisfy
always, why do
people.
you keep requesting the same songs over and over again? That's why we
Exactly.
play them, because people keep asking for them.
Throw it back to them. My God, these people, they just don't think.
Yeah, but it's the whole podcast is trying to shine a spotlight on the work that we as entertainers have to do and artists have to do to make our livings. You know,
That's
I
really
just
good.
recently talked to a young lady who's in a band, and two also two. Anyway, she's in a band, and she's also her day job is she works at a cemetery. She creates.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's a certified
Wow.
mortician, and she works
No
at a
way.
cemetery as a educational specialist, where she puts together educational programs about that particular cemetery. And it's like, all right, so what are you doing to make people like, you're a cute little goth girl who plays in a band, but also what are you doing to keep people from being creeped out when you're like, hey, why don't you come to this place where all the dead bodies and ghosts are and learn
Yeah.
something? Like, that's interesting on that. I talked to a band that was made up 4 different music teachers. Like they all taught in
Ooh.
different curriculums, and even though they all taught music and instruments to people, they all taught in different ways. They taught different things. And talked to actual
Beautiful.
lab scientists, which are people wearing white coats doing super serious science stuff with medications and potions and chemicals and periodic tables. And then at night they go play horns in a ska band.
Interesting. So, okay, in your opinion, what do you think have made you successful in whatever endeavor you're on
Remember when
now
I said
so
I
far?
play music, but I'm not a musician? I'm
You want to
in
take
the
that
industry, but
back?
I don't know if I. No, I don't think I'm successful either. Ask my bank account and the RS if they think I'm successful or not. That's a different.
No, Dennis. I would ask
No,
you maybe
it's
5 years from now, 10 years from now. Yeah,
no, it's just hard work and determination. I constantly keep working. I won't let myself get beaten down. Although, mental health comes into a huge factor in a lot of this, where it's really easy to just give up and walk away because all your efforts, every radio show that I've worked on pretty much has ended abruptly. Whether none of us, we never got to stop doing any of the things that we wanted that we were doing. They all kind of just ended, and that works about you, but you you move to the next thing. My podcast makes no money, but I keep doing it.
Same.
Yeah. Trust me, that's everyone. That's 99% of people who have a podcast are raising their hand saying that it makes no money. Don't worry. That's the thing. But it's like, even, I just the last comedy show I just did had 10 people in the audience.
That's okay.
The room sits 300.
No,
but so that's you take your lumps from that 10 people and you move on, and you go back to the next show. So it's determination, despite how much my own mental illness gets in the way of it all. I keep going back for more and more, and I'm determined. I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get. Through all the years of getting better and working hard, just keep chugging along. That's what's making me successful, is the not giving up. Once you give up,
that's true.
There is no success.
Yeah. You do great work, Dennis. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you. Can I get you to write that in a letter to my mother and let her know?
I would.
Stop harping me about grandkids and harping on me about getting a real job and growing up and being an adult.
Of course, I would leave you a review with a message to your mom.
Dear Deadair Dennis's mommy.
Yeah.
Please leave him alone. He's very successful. And yes, you can still co-sign that new car he's going to buy.
Good one. Okay, so can you share with the listeners, what are the tips to communicating effectively?
Well, they always love to say that good communication is brevity.
Ooh.
Brevity is the key to wit, is what they say. I am very long-winded. I think the good key to communication is relatability. You have to be able to either talk about relatable things to people or communicate things to them in a relatable way. So I think it's more important is relatability.
Right.
Knowing what people want to be able to empathize with or sympathize with.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to pivot to the essence of my podcast.
Okay.
We talked a lot about self-worth in my podcast, and therefore your question is, how do childhood experiences and upbringing impact an individual's sense of worth and their ability to engage in self-discovery later in life?
How do childhood experiences
and upbringing impact an individual's sense of self-worth? That's number one. And their ability to engage.
That's kind of really, a deep psychological question there, because
yes,
your self-worth comes from how you were treated. It's, I talk about all the time that I have a damaged, broken brain, that I suffer from PTS, that I was bullied and this and that, and it's affected my brain, and it does. I have to heal from those wounds before I can start making fun of those wounds. But, part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is because I of the way I was treated as a youth. And what holds me back is the way I was treated as a youth. It's too easy. It's not too easy, but it's far too often that it happens in your brain. You want to go do something, and your brain goes, "Don't do that. What if they all laugh at you?" A good comedian friend of mine named Dana J. Bein, Bein, has this quote that he says, and I gotta directly reference it to him. I'm not gonna steal his material, but he says, "Your inner critic is an asshole." That all that self-doubt in the back of your head from years of being picked on, from years of not having years of being neglected, years of not being coddled or supported. Not that we need to coddle everybody too much, but also give some support to people. All those years of, hey, this is not going to go well. Everyone is going to make fun of you for this. This is garbage, and they know it, and you know it. That experience comes from somewhere. It comes from years of childhood abuse. So you have to learn to get past them. You have to use the bright shining moments of your life to be able to go out and get past all that and create. And luckily, some people were very supported, maybe too much, as a child. So they have an overwhelmingly undeserved sense of confidence. And you know what? That's great for them.
Oh, undeserved sense of confidence. I like that.
Yeah. Some people, they just have, there's plenty of tortured artists out there that are never going to reach their potential because of how they were treated. And there's going to be a lot of people that think they deserve all of it, no matter how much or little they put into it. But that's another thing going in there. If you have too much confidence, if you're told too many times that you're great and you're wonderful, whatever you're doing is the best thing ever, you're going to have that complex where you're going to think everything I do is gold. That comes back down to that talent conversation that we had. You know, if you have comes to musicians, if you have parents who are rich and can buy teaching lessons for you as a musician, you get really good because you went to years and years and years and years of teaching and you learned everything from people, as opposed to people who can barely afford a guitar, let alone lessons, and you got to be self-taught. Yeah, there's going to be a difference right there in your achievement level of the quality. But that goes down to hard work. Now, granted, teachers are teaching you. You still have to play. Just because you have a very expensive teacher teaching you how to play guitar doesn't mean you're going to be Stevie Ray Vaughan. It still takes practice. But you're going to have that opportunity getting to those more virtuoso lessons as opposed to somebody who's going to have to take it slower because they're learning on their own.
Thank you. So what's your heart's greatest wish, Dennis?
What is my what?
Heart's greatest wish.
My heart's greatest wish? To not stop beating. I mean, I'm a man who's had 2 heart attacks and a stroke already, so my heart is just like, hey,
really?
keep pumping. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. At 34.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
No, well, and that all comes from my heart just was like, I don't want to end. Just you know what I want? I want less blockages. Okay, can you have less cholesterol? Eat more salads. That's what my heart's yelling. Eat more salads.
Okay, basically just staying alive then. Nah. Rooting for you again. So, do you have a mantra that you live by?
I don't have a mantra, but I did have, when I was my early years of radio, guy I worked for named Albie D. Once said to me this sentence, and I've carried it with me throughout my years of work and determination is, if you want someone to consider you for a job, do the job before they give it to you. Meaning, if you want to be a comedian, well, go out there and start doing comedy. If you want to make movies, go out there and start making movies. If you want to be in a band, well, no one's going to give you that opportunity to be a band unless you go out there and start a band. Same thing when it comes to work. If you want to work in a particular industry, well, you need to learn that industry before you can be hired in it. So, hey, you want to be a doctor? Well, go to medical school. Hey, you want to be a baseball player? Well, grab a bat and a ball and some people and start playing baseball. You want to be a Major League Baseball player? Well, it all starts with playing baseball in the backyard with your friends, or you're playing catch with your dad. It all starts somewhere. And you're never going to get to that goal until you start doing that goal.
Basically positioning yourself, imagining and putting yourself in that, wherever that you want to be, and just do it. And, well, like you said, don't stop. So what gets you up in the morning?
My dog needing to go for a walk.
Good one. My cat, in my case, it's my cat. Okay.
Yeah, well, your cat has a box to piss in. My dog has my floor or the backyard. That's one of the two. That's the difference.
Okay. Right. Okay, so
no, I mean, all joking aside, what gets me out of bed is I get to do the things that I like doing. I put myself in a position to be able to do the things that I want to do. There's that cliche where if you do what you want to do, you never worked a day in your life. Well,
No, but
I
that is
wanted to
so
live by
not
that,
true.
so
Like,
I do that. I've put myself in I want to be an entertainer and I want to make people laugh. So I've put myself in the place of being able to create content to make people laugh.
so Dennis, if you could create a quote right now for you to leave to the audience listening and the world as your legacy, what would it be?
Oh man, now I really want to steal my friend's Dana J. Bynes quote of "Your inner critic is an asshole," but I don't have anything as prolific as that.
Oh, okay. So that would be a quote.
My quote would be, "Listen to my friend Dana J. Bynes."
I mean, I can live with that. Well, oh my God, Dennis, this has been fun.
No, it's
I
been great.
really,
Thank you for having me.
yeah, like I think you have such a great story, and I feel that now I get a bit of a sneak peek into the lives of an artist like yourself, and also what is it like? I mean, I have interviewed few other people from the US from the same industry, and they all tell me almost the same thing. It's like some is from Hollywood, and although Hollywood is um, portrayed as this glam and glitz, but it's not really that.
No.
That's ouch. Sorry to hurt my. Yeah, I mean, like
I
the
mean,
fellow Asians
it's
here.
well. This is the thing. All of the industry comes down to people want to work with people they like for whatever reason, however, because you're friends, because you're great, because they think you'll that their candlelight will shine upon you and your work. So really what it is comes down to you want to be around the people that you want to work with the people you want to be around. So if you're a person who wants to be someone who works more, make yourself more likable. I mean, you don't have to be a sycophant, disgusting person that wants everyone has to like me. And just don't be an asshole. Don't be an
Yeah,
asshole. Just be someone who people want to be around.
perfect. Okay, Dennis, thank you so much for your time. I really
My
appreciate
pleasure.
it. So which part of the US are you in right now again?
I live in the city of Boston, Massachusetts, which is on the east
Massachusetts.
coast of America.
Right. If it's East Coast, it's New York side, right? It's not the California side.
Yeah, I'm north of New York. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool. Thank you, Dennis. I
Don't worry. If
wish
you
you
told me what part
well.
of Malaysia you were in, I would be like, I didn't know there was
The
another part of
capital, the
Asia.
capital, Kuala Lumpur. Who
I'd
knows?
look.
You might
I know
just.
there's Asia, and I didn't know there was a Malaysia. So
Well, now you do. Well, okay. Thank you, Dennis, for your time. So I guess we'll talk soon. Let's keep in touch. I have
absolutely.
you on Instagram. I, I when I clicked your Instagram, it's like page is not. Something's wrong with the page. Is it Dead
My
Air
Instagram
Dennis? Yeah, your
at
Instagram.
Deadair Dennis is my Instagram.
Right, at Dead Air Dennis. Okay, I'm gonna try it again after this, and then I'll probably drop you a message there or something.
Sure.
All right. Thank you, Dennis. You have a good
Cool.
day. Have a
You
great
as well.
evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.